Burt Reynolds, of course, in the new movie Semi-Tough, but he told me an interesting thing, or it was said in a studio press release, Burt, that your real turn in your career came after you started making the talk show circuit.
It's true, yeah.
Why do you think that happened?
I think that before I did The Tonight Show and The Griffin Show and The Douglas Show, etc., that most leading men, when they went on talk shows, their voice got about 3 octaves lower. And they said, my last picture was wonderful, and I was wonderful. And I was kind of the first, in quotes, leading man to come on and say that my last picture was a turkey and have fun with my career. And I was not having fun, I was telling the truth. And I had a very self-deprecating kind of attitude about my career. And it was very refreshing. It was the first time anybody, now everybody does it, but at the time nobody was doing it. And it caused a tremendous amount of commotion, and it was The Tonight Show that John Borman saw me on that got me in Deliverance. He never saw a piece of film on me. He saw me on The Tonight Show and wanted me in the picture. Well,
why were you doing that? Was it sincere on your part, or was it a gimmick?
Oh,
you
yeah.
thought, hey, I can really make something different this
No, I was doing exactly what I do in the living room. I mean, I was just being myself, which is, that's the only reason it works, because the camera, as you know very well, looks right inside you, and that's why I got away with it.
A lot of people think that's phony, but I think those of us on this side know that you can only get
You can't sit, especially live television, you can't sit there and go into your instant humble act and get away with it, you know. I mean, you have to be what you are, and if you start going into something that you're not, I think it tells.
So often, it's happening right now, people have images, and I hate to use that word, but you know what we mean by image. And the appearance, most people seeing you now will never see you in person, so they know you through television, through movies. And I think one word always comes to mind where you're concerned is macho, which I personally hate. I think it's the most obnoxious kind of thing, but you do come across that way, or you have in the past more so. I don't think you did in Semi-Tough as much. Does that bother you? And I think a lot of people have that feeling.
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just, it's boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was a woman and I was called Zoftic, I wouldn't mind. But the word macho just, to me, always implied a guy who, you know, studied expressions with Charlie Bronson. You know, he has 2, mad and madder. And I always felt that, not taking anything away from Charlie, because he can play mad better than anybody, but I thought I had a little more to offer than that.
But you know, I see guys all the time in Miami who look to me like they're trying to play Burt Reynolds in real life. They kind of standing in a bar and they look at a girl and they give her that look at a chick.
Yeah, well, see, I can't do that.
You don't do it in real life.
I couldn't do that. I can never, at a bar, I'm the last guy in the world that can make a run at a girl. I never could do that.
Now, are you sincere now?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. I never could do it. I'd just stand there and make a total fool of myself. So whatever they're doing, you know,
but isn't that interesting that you portray something that guys mimic, thinking it's the key to the kingdom?
Well, I do agree with you, and I do run into a lot of guys who come up to me and say that they're lookalikes, and they're usually dreadful-looking guys, and it makes me feel terrible. But any guy that grows a mustache or whatever thinks that he's a Marlboro lad, I really don't understand that whole kind of attitude. I mean, again, I think women are bored silly with those kind of guys. I would think
Nevertheless, you're saying that with your shirt unbuttoned down.
Yeah, well, that's because I have a microphone.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have a lot of medals around, as you'll notice, which most of those guys do.
That's true.
But if this offends you, Joe, I'll be glad to close it.
No, it's okay.
Because I didn't realize that you were that kind of guy that gets offended at an open chest.
No, not offended.
You people in Miami should write letters to Joe and tell him that any guy that can't handle an open chest is really in serious trouble.
And I wish I had hair like that, too.
Oh, well, there you are, Joe.
Okay. Burt Reynolds, that's the real Burt Reynolds, by the way. And he's a neighbor, too. He lives in Palm Beach. Burt, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Joe.
We'll be right back.